Hi, I'm Ivy Rivera, psychic medium, coming to you from the Ivy League Psychic Academy at 4511 Main Street in Amherst, New York. We train people here in psychic mediumship development, Reiki, astrology, tarot, all things curious and energetic. If you guys are interested in taking classes at the Ivy League Psychic Academy, you want to log in at ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com. If you're looking to book a full reading with me, I do them by phone, Skype, FaceTime, email, as well as in person here at the Academy where I have my office. You can find more information on my readings at ivyriverapsychicmedium.com or for speaking engagements and parties and events and things like that. Right now, we can take your questions if you want to send them in. Kara, do you want to explain to them where they can send these?
Yes, our viewers can either log into Ustream.com, just into the search bar, you want to go to Ask a Medium. There's a social stream to the right, like window to the right of the video screen. You can just type your questions in there. Or you can go to our Ask a Medium live page on Facebook. Go to the Ustream Ask a Medium event. And you can go ahead and log your questions right into the comments section below there, and I will feed them to beautiful Ivy Rivera here. And
thank you, dear.
Yes.
Okay, also you guys, for any of you who are technologically challenged, as I am, feel free to text them. Take the simple route, 716-602-1391, and I'll be checking here as well. Questions can be psychic, mediumship, meaning if you're looking to speak to a loved one on the other side, your angels, guides, pets that have passed away. Also, questions on paranormal situations, lost objects, whatever it happens to be, or personal questions if you have for me or about maybe spiritual development or something like that. Okay, I want to talk about a couple quick things before we start getting into the questions here. It's been sort of a heavy week. I've had a lot of people coming to me at different events and in here for personal readings with a lot of illness lately. And I just want to touch on that a little bit. I understand that finding out that you're going to have some kind of long-term physical situation that isn't going to be so comfortable for you or for your family can be a really devastating thing. And I want to make it really clear that while we can feel, okay, as though this is a horrible situation or this is very heavy and depressing and that it may not be getting easier at any time, may be hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, those are your feelings about the situation. The reality of it on a larger scope actually tends to be that you may have signed on to something like this in your life contract before you came to Earth, or that there's a bigger purpose to you going through this. A lot of people who go through rather large illnesses are actually here to do light work themselves. And through that situation, learning how to handle it, learning how to self-heal, what they are actually better capable of doing is going out and healing others afterward, or telling their story and sharing and shedding the light for other people. So I just, it's unfortunate to see people getting a little downtrodden about this. I understand, been through it myself, but you have to understand that embracing it, learning the lessons that you're here to learn, and acknowledging the fact that you may have actually signed on for this for a bigger purpose is super important, so don't negate it, okay? I also want to talk a little bit about, we were talking about New Year's coming up, and, taking an opportunity at this time of year to manifest some of the things that you want to see in your life. A lot of people that I've been working on lately have a little bit of a negative mindset. They're kind of replaying the same thoughts out again and again and again. And whether you're dealing with a job that you feel trapped in, or maybe a relationship that you feel kind of stuck in, or you've left something behind and you just can't really shake the energy out of you, what I'm asking you guys to do is spend a little less time focusing on what isn't working and a lot more time focusing on what it is that you actually want. And I would recommend that everybody make a list of things that you want. No negative words in it. No, I don't want, or I won't be doing this again. All positive. So what I am claiming to me is this. And I want you to write down maybe 5 things that you want to attract to you over the course of this year in a couple different areas of your life, and try for about a 2-week period to read over that list, like maybe in the morning, you know, at lunch and before you go to bed. 2 weeks is a very short period of time to totally turn your energy around and make the universe work more in your favor. And what you're going to see automatically is not so much you getting exactly what it is that you're claiming to you, but it's almost like, you know, red lights turn green, networking kicks up, finances may start to turn around, and then slowly that will start to come in to you. And sometimes it is instantaneous, okay? So own your energy, take responsibility for it, and start claiming to you what is yours, okay? Get rid of that old, negative, stale stuff as we approach the new year. Okay, I'm going to start answering some questions. Again, if you guys want to text your questions in, 716-602-1391. The first one that I'm going to go to is from a Kathy in Dallas from a 972 number. She says, I'm Kathy from Dallas. Do you see a solid relationship for me in the near future? You see what I'm getting with this? Okay, well, it's funny the way that you word that. I don't know that I'm seeing a solid relationship in the near future. I'm seeing a solid relationship within the next 5 years, but I'm tempted to put the beginning of it out at about the 3-year mark. In the meantime, I feel pretty good about what you're doing. I feel pretty good about the energy that you're putting out in the sense that you're open to receiving and it feels like you're interacting. I feel like you're making good eye contact. I feel like you're making an attempt. However, I want to say that your demand, okay, on your partners sends a little bit of a, how do I want to say that? Almost like you're sending out a little bit of this energy that says sort of come and be my child. Okay, like I will take care of things. If you're putting out a little bit too much dominant energy, you could attract children that need to be carried. Okay, so I want you to be a little bit more careful about that. I would say pull back. Well, I think it's great that you're like making the eye contact. You're like, yes, I'm available. Da 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 da. I want to share myself with somebody. That's awesome, but it does feel like you need to be a little bit more reserved. And it's almost like everything that you're giving them, even if it's just in a simple text, make them earn it. Make them earn every single thing that you're going to give. And then I feel like you can cut off that pattern. Does seem like there would be one more coming in before the person that I see you having a solid relationship with. And that person would be a bit of a taker. I'm almost feeling like brown hair. And I feel a little bit on the shorter side. It feels like he has a lot of charisma. But it almost looks as though we get a little needy and whiny, okay, shortly in, and I feel like just kick it to the curb, okay, clear your energy back out, and then allow for that next person to come in. But you really can't control this. Okay, thank you so much for that question. I want to start moving on to the text questions, and I'm going to start down here with, let me see, I have a Nick. Okay, hi Nick. He says, my question is, I get dizzy spells a lot. Okay, that's very common for a lot of us. I get dizzy spells a lot and believe that it's a sign of spiritual presence. Is that correct? I get it in old buildings around certain people. Thank you so much. You're awesome. You're awesome, Nick. Thank you. He's the cutest. I think Nick is our new intern around here. Yeah, so it's going to be super great. Okay, so Nick, you're accurate in believing that it's energy. I would say that it's energy consumption. Voluntarily, involuntarily, it is going to happen one way or another. The smartest thing that you can do is educate yourself on it. The fact that you're going into certain atmospheres and starting to pick up on it there is a really good step in the right direction. So you're starting to identify, essentially, if you're going into certain buildings, which ones are haunted, which ones are active. There can be a lot of residual energy that causes that, but I feel like that lightheadedness tends to come from the living, tends to come from intelligent energy, and so you may be walking into patches of, almost like a haunted space, which is great for you as a psychic medium in training, so that you're going to be able to identify this is like a hot spot. There's activity here. We're going to have interaction here. You are your own best equipment. So what you're going to really need to do with that is start deciding how exactly you're going to handle it. Now, of course, if you're at school, this is not the easiest thing. You're going to need to block it out when you feel like you can't be letting it in because it's making you lightheaded or it's making you sweat or it's making you, nauseous. That's really common. It comes from other people. And before we know it, we're not feeling so hot. So when you're at school, you're in an atmosphere like that where you do not want to be on, you're not a working psychic medium or paranormal investigator, you don't need all that energy to be coming into you. Block it out. There are a lot of blocking techniques that you can use. I would recommend attending the Empathic Means class at the Academy. The next one's in February. You guys can find that up on the website, ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com. That will train you in the techniques of how to keep it out. But that's something that you're going to need to do about every 3 hours probably. If you're going on an investigation or you're looking to hand out information to people in messages, then stay on, stay open, and enjoy the ride. But don't forget your cat's eye stones. Try to get rooted and grounded through the bottom of your feet and shake that energy out so you don't have to feel dizzy the entire time. I understand where you are. Remember too, our abilities never decrease. They only increase in time. So the minute you have something new that's causing you some problems, get a handle on it as soon as you can. Okay, thanks, Nick. I want to move on to a 390 number. Okay. Let me see. I took a nap today. I don't know where this is going. Sometimes I feel like I should screen things. Okay. I took a nap today and had, okay. Thank you for clarifying. An OBE. I was like, well, now I'm in trouble. An out-of-body experience. Okay. I took a nap today. I had an out-of-body experience. I prayed to my higher source while this was occurring that something flashed my third eye with a light. I saw an eye. Then I walked over to my window. I saw African slavery dolls floating up and talking to one another. Okay. Beautiful handmade dolls. It was also snowing. Scenery was beautiful. Then I woke up. Only me, Ivy. What is this supposed to be telling me? Am I becoming more intuitive? Thank you. Okay, from Loyola. Yes, I mean, you're always becoming more intuitive. We're going to have to break this down, okay, in a couple different ways. First of all, looks like you're seeing them through a window. So I would have to ask you a few more details on that. It does not feel, intuitively, I'm not feeling like the window was open. I feel like you're watching it through a window, okay, which is going to be a symbol of, now the window can be a symbol of prosperity or an increase in something. And typically the more open it is, the more prosperity you're going to have. I feel like it was completely closed. That's okay. It's still a symbol of prosperity. So the thing is, you're looking through this window, you're watching the snow, and the snow, to me, in this feels like it's representing new beginnings, something beautiful coming down. Okay, it's not a blizzard, it's not a snowstorm, so it's not heavy. It's a beautiful thing. The dolls are typically going to represent either something very playful, or it almost feels like a youth. I also feel like these dolls represent in some way almost what would feel to me like a little bit of a voodoo reference. And so the fact that they're interacting feels as though we're talking about you almost observing who you are in the mix of all of this with a little bit of space between you and these people. It feels as though these could be people in your soul group that are coming up and there's a lot of interaction going on. I want to say energy exchange between them. That's what they're doing, right? The dolls are sort of playing. They're talking to each other. God bless you. They're dancing around. They're doing whatever they're doing. It feels almost like literally a dance. I had a similar dream like this last night. And I said, this is one of the strangest dreams I've ever had. I was dancing in a circle with a bunch of people. And the minute I woke up, I was like, I have to play that song. And what it felt like to me, sort of on the same instance, was that we're going back to a more youthful time where there are fewer rules. And we're interacting on a more spiritual level with a bunch of other people. Whenever I say a bunch of other people that you're working with, these are either people that are, like I said, in your soul group, or these are people that you're learning with, growing with, or fixing things with. Okay, so start to really identify what's going on with all these dolls. Who might they be? And it just sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, thank you so much. Hopefully I'm one of them, Loyola. All right, I'm going to move on to a 259 number. My fiance died in his sleep this past November. Was he in any pain? Does he approve of my life now? Does he still love me or have anything to tell me? I am so sorry for your loss. Here's what I'm feeling with this, okay? I do feel like I have him in here. I feel like there was a lot of almost like a sharp pain going up my back. and it feels like it kind of cut up into here somehow. So whether that's an aneurysm or I can't prescribe or diagnose, but it almost feels like something sharp and quick. What he's talking about is, of course, I love you, and of course, I'm around. I do absolutely approve of what you're doing and where you are, but I'm happy to see you moving a little bit faster. It feels almost like there was a bit of a stagnancy going on there. I want you to remove any guilt that you're having in going forward. I don't necessarily feel that everyone who's been put on your path romantically has been the one since, but I do feel, okay, let me put it this way. I do feel like he's taking a hand in this to get you to be with who he wants to see you with. And I don't necessarily feel like this person is very much like him. I feel like there's a depth to him that you're not going to be able to kind of match exactly in somebody else. And it feels like there's a connection that the two of you had that had a lot to do with spontaneity and thought and connection in the brain. And so it's almost like if he knew what you were thinking, or he could like finish your sentences, there was just a connection there, okay, that is not necessarily going to, okay, he says that's special for me and you, but there will be somebody else. And what I'm seeing with this person is an ability to, and he said, I know you can take care of yourself. It's a bit of an ability to come in and bring you what you need, bring you resources. And I'm seeing a boat of prosperity, which is really a symbol for relationships, but it's also a financial symbol. So this person seems to be very smart in like business and money and finances and things like this. I'm also seeing him in a plaid shirt, which I do feel is similar to your husband or your fiance here, who not necessarily was wearing plaid shirts, but it's more of a symbol of being down to earth, earthy, kind of outdoorsy. And I feel like get out there more. That's good for you. He wants to see you out there. Okay, have fun. I do also feel like I'm talking about a little girl in spirit, okay, or a little girl child that he is referencing. So know that he is on top of all of this. Okay. Now, do we have any questions coming in?
We do. We have a question on Ustream, and this one's from Aquarius Moon.
Okay.
They said, I just took a second job.
Okay.
Do you see this working out? Thanks.
Okay. Let me see what. Just took a second job. And how many more do we have? Or is it just that one and we want to wrap it up? Okay, so we'll see what's going on. If anybody else texts in, we'll take them. Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up after this one. So you just took a second job. Do I see it working out? I feel like this has more potential than your first job, okay, in a lot of ways. I'm also feeling a bit of a headache for you. So what I mean by that is that, you know, you're taking this on, and I feel like you're taking it on with certain expectations. I feel as though the first job is sort of causing more of the headaches. There's a little bit of a sense of reaching, and I don't know exactly how to describe this because, of course, the job itself isn't going to reach, but I want to describe, like, your first job is almost being like, if you were in a relationship and you were to start pulling away, energetically that person would know and start to kind of pull you on back, okay? I'm feeling like this is what's going to be happening with your first job. I almost feel as though it's tripping you up in some ways, and it's making you feel like, well, I should be, spending more time there. This is where I belong long term. And I'm not saying that there isn't a lot of value in it. It's just that I'm feeling like it's time for you to sort of spread your wings and go in some new directions. This second job is not the end all be all, but it will lead into other things. And I feel like it's imperative that you get unstuck with the first job. You can't just go back there because it's sort of the safety net. Even if they were to offer you more, whatever the situation is going to be, I feel like while that's very nice, I really need to keep on going in this direction. And it will be opening up into a couple other pathways that feel to me like it's more of what you've been wanting and really thinking on for the last couple years. And I just want to say play more. This is a time, I do have your work guide here. This is a time for you to use your creative energy. This is a time for you to use your great communication skills that have been put on the back burner for a little too long. You're not just a workhorse, and you're not just supposed to be sort of stuck at that, at that first job, just pumping it out and staying the same any longer. And I'm hearing like 6, so I don't know if you've been there like 6 years, what's going on with that, but it feels like the shift, it's almost like after that 6-year mark, it just sort of hit a wall. Okay, so it is time to evolve. A lot of great things coming in with that. Okay, thank you so much. Any more? Should we wrap it up?
Well, actually, she hasn't. This comes from Tiffany on Facebook.
Okay.
And it looks like it may be your first time
Getting a reading?
Yeah, getting a reading. So
Okay.
what she did ask is what kinds of questions about deceased family members. And I did reply, yes, love, career, anything like that. And it looks like she just responded with a question. So
Okay.
let's see what it is here.
Right, and let me just sort of clarify for everybody. If you've never had a reading before, or if you are only really familiar with psychic ability, I'm a psychic medium, so mediums are automatically psychic. In addition, okay, they're also channelers. So what we're able to do is answer your psychic questions as a psychic would, but we're also able to connect with your loved ones on the other side. And what can happen with that, traditionally what happens in my readings, is that I go to your loved ones, or they're coming to me, and they're automatically answering whatever your question is. Okay, so it'll really come through them, and then I'll put my own psychic, intuition into it if need be. All right, so anyone you want to speak to, you can just give me a name, and we'll reach out to them. So what's her question?
Tiffany's question is, I have someone very special who passed away. I always wonder if he's still around watching out.
Okay. I feel real protective energy with him. I also feel kind of like a high-strung sort of nature with him. I feel like he has a great stable way about him where he can get the job done. He can take care of business, but he's also very playful. And so he just feels like a kid. And know that he is around a great deal. I feel as though I'm going from, and I'm assuming that I'm in your house, I feel like I'm going from the living room, unless this is like your mother's house. But I know that you're in there, so I'm just going to describe it this way. If I'm coming all the way from what I believe might be the front, I'm going into the living room, there's a bit of a hallway, feels like there's a kitchen over here, there's another room over here, and I feel like this might be like your bedroom. And I feel like this is him, okay, letting you know, I'm walking down through that living room, and then I'm sort of going like past that kitchen and down, and I'm sort of watching in the doorway. Okay. He's just saying, I tend to not want to bother you very much. I don't want to startle you. I feel like you understand my energy can create a lot of emotion. When I come in, I tend to be a little bit more watchful, and I am trying to come and visit you at night. I want to say that he has a very quiet energy about him, for as kind of lively as he is. He tends to really come through when you need it, so I don't feel like he's the kind of guy who's just hanging out all the time, but you can contact him anytime and let him know what you need, and know that he will hear you. He's also talking a little bit about, there's like a situation you just put behind you. It's almost kind of like a skeleton you kind of want to leave in the closet. He's showing me almost like a garage, sort of. Okay, like behind you, and it's just like, how garages get like stuff built up in them that you don't really need anymore. And he's talking about leave behind you what's supposed to be back there. Stop carrying a bunch of tools around with you that you really don't sort of need anymore. It almost feels like just luggage, like you're just sort of carrying some baggage. He just wants you to get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. He's also showing me a tree of prosperity and a couple like apples on it, which can represent children, okay, whether you have them here or not. And there's like a banana, which is the crazy symbol, but that's how mediumship works. It's my symbol for Florida, actually. So you may be taking a trip, and I just want to say enjoy yourself, know that I'm with you. He's also talking about meditating a little bit. He's showing me meditation beads. He says learn how to do this, silence yourself, and stop blocking things out and saying, no, I don't think that's what it was. Okay, start being a little bit more silent and listen for him. He also does this funny vibration, almost like in your head, like right up about here, where you might start to feel almost like a pressure in your head. That would be him coming through, letting you know that he's around. Okay, thank you so much for that question. Yes, I have a couple more here. Do you have any more coming in?
Yeah, actually, I do have two coming in from Ustream. Did you want to do the text first or the social stream?
Let me do this one real quick. This is for a Rachel. Okay, Rachel wants to know, is there anyone here for me? Do they have any messages for me on my love life or my work? I'm open to any messages I need to hear. Thank you, Ivy. You're welcome. Thank you. This way. Okay. So, I'm bouncing off my spot today. I've had too much coffee. Okay. So, Rachel, do we have anyone here with any messages about your love life or your work? Let me see what's going on. I do have a grandmother who comes in. I'm believing more from mom's side. She feels like she had a little bit more meat on the bones. I have a grandfather who is a little bit more submissive. I feel like when he's with the female, who would have talked a lot, but he actually had a lot to say. But he wasn't going to compete. It was going to come out. You could listen. You could not listen. I would. Both of them stepping forward. And I want to say, talking to you about... It's almost like you're not done with this work yet. It's almost like you're not done at that job yet. And it feels to me like this is sort of the year for changing things up. I feel like a little bit of advancing with your education or your training. And I feel like don't hold off on that anymore. Feels like you would do really well in the medical field, whether that's like nursing or, helping people in some fashion, bringing healing to people. But it feels like you've been a little stalled out with that. And the way that they're saying it is like you haven't really taken much time for you and what you want to do and what your dreams are. And it doesn't have to be, your grandmother just says it doesn't have to be like reaching for the stars. It doesn't have to be this big, huge dream. It can just be something as simple as when I wake up every day, I want to go into a building with people that appreciate what I do. Okay, and I think that the helping profession would be very, very wise for you. This feels like you've been treading water for a little too long. I also want to say 5 years and then 3 years back. So it feels like you've been within like 5 years of doing stuff that really isn't within your calling. And back about 3 years, you started really feeling the pressure from that where it may have forced you into a new job position or something like this. And so that was Spirit really letting you know that it was time. As far as love life is concerned, I feel like a lot of words are coming out of you in relationship and communication, but it feels like they're hitting a dead wall. And so whether this is something that you're in right now or this has just been a little bit of a theme, I want to put it this way. I would take the note of your grandfather, okay, the way that he says you guys see the world a lot in the same way. You have a very sweet heart, and when you want something, you keep trying to speak your piece to get what you want. He says that's manipulative. Stay back, do nothing, let it come to you. Okay, so switch up and be a little bit more like Grandpa and you'll attract what you want to you. Okay, thank you so much for that question. A ton of love. And all right. I just want to say, Hannah by Mehendi Mahal over here, okay? Kara, who does this incredible, very dark henna that I'm obsessed with, freestyle, she's going to be here at the Ivy League Psychic Academy, I believe, right? Yes. Offering some new hours. So you guys check her out at what, mehendimahal.com?
That's right, mehendimahal.com.
It's addictive. Thank you. So, yeah, let's take one from here, and then I'll go back over here, however you want to do it.
Yeah, they're not letting you off the hook tonight easy, Ivy.
No,
which is
they're
good.
not.
I'm glad they're not.
It's been that kind of a day.
Good. I'm glad.
It's all right.
They're making you work. Good. All right, so our first question comes in from Melissa ADC on Ustream here. And she says, oh, wait, did I already read you? Yeah, I already gave you that one. Sorry.
Yeah,
We're
okay,
going to go to, or did I? I recently started dating a man.
No, you didn't read that.
Future. Oh, okay, I didn't. Sorry about that, guys.
No, not tonight.
Okay, so this one comes from Melissa ADC on Ustream. Okay. And she says, I recently started dating a man and was wondering if there is a future.
I feel like sometimes things seem a little too good to be true. And we want to look at it this way. That isn't just a saying. That's your intuition telling you that. Your intuition could tell you a million different things. That one is certainly one to watch out for. It just because it sounds like a cliche doesn't mean that you're putting judgment on it or that you're wrong. Your intuition chose that phrase for a reason. It does seem a little too good to be true. I'm sensing inconsistency with this person. I feel like I come in like gangbusters and I'm like, oh, shiny and new, and I'm like, this is what I have to offer, and then it's like, where did he go? I don't know. And it's probably better. Let him go. Let him go wherever he wants to go. And we're just floating around doing that, okay? So it looks like you might be sort of approaching one of those. However, there are a lot of things about this person, and the one that you were dating just before, and possibly like 2 people back, where I want to say if we combine their best qualities as well as looks, and I want to say the smarts of work, work intelligence, which feels to me like engineer's mind putting systems together. So if we look at an accumulation of these people, I have who's kind of coming in after that. And I feel like there's a lot more potential there, but this guy does not come with bells and whistles. And I think that that would be wise. I'm also seeing him in a plaid shirt, like I mentioned earlier. It's just one of my crazy symbols. Plaid shirt is going to mean that he's very, very down to earth. I'm feeling almost lighter with him. I don't think it's literal. So he's probably going to have like, you know, either darker eyes, you know, darker hair. But the light that I see with him is also a symbol that he's an empath and a healer. And I feel like he's actually quite intuitive. And he's almost scared. He reminds me of like a scaredy cat. Like talking about haunted things. He's like, oh, I don't want to watch a scary movie, and I don't want to turn it on, I don't want to turn it on. It's a good sign that he's really wide open. I also feel like I have a grandmother who comes through who's putting this together for the two of you, and I feel like she was actually quite religious, but is very happy, okay, about this wide open communication. So it will be coming. In the meantime, ride the next one out, learn your lessons, and be cutthroat. Cut them off quick, okay, if they seem a little shaky. Good luck with that. Do you have any more?
I do.
This? Okay.
Our next one comes from Lapis Leaves on Ustream.
Okay.
And I love this. It's a great question, and she's adorable, or he. Ivy, out of all of your abilities, which one is your favorite? And with a heart emoticon, love your show.
Aw, you're too sweet. Thank you so much, and that's a nice, easy question. And you just let me know when we need to cut off so that we can, you know, air it. Okay, well, I would say that my favorite ability is claircognizance. Claircognizance is it's called the all-knowing or the great understanding, and it's been defined as something that's bestowed upon people who've decided to live a life of service. So a lot of, like, you know, people in the religious fields have it, a lot of nurses have it, a lot of, you know, firefighters have it. And sometimes mediums have it. So I developed this when I was probably about 6-7 years old. I thought I was going to be a nun. So I just remember the nuns coming and talking and thinking that that's what I was going to do. And it seemed like around that time I started to have this ability, and now I know there's a name for it. And with that, what happens is that I just understand every situation. I understand every person that's involved in whatever messages it is that I'm getting. I can hear their thoughts. I can see past, present, and future all at the same time. And it's really just a very calm sense of knowing and understanding. It's the way that angels communicate when they come through. They really only use claircognizance. And so it's a very peaceful, calm, easy way. Every other ability that I have takes a little bit of effort, I guess, because it is a different language. But that one's my favorite because it's easy and it's fun. Thanks so much for that question. Okay. I have one from a 904 number. Will he do the right thing? My name is Tamara. She's not in a good mood tonight. Sorry, Tamara. Let me see. Nope. No. He'll say that he will. He's going to be back 2 more times if you allow it. You have a grandfather here, just put all the stuff out at the curb. This isn't it. And just no. No. There's a little bit of an issue here, I would say primarily, and I think that you need to come at it from this angle. You need to look at this person and you need to say, is he taking responsibility for his actions? Is he taking care of the people in his life that he should be taking care of? Or is he always putting himself first? And I think that your answer is pretty obvious. And I think that you have a long pattern with this person. If you've seen it once, you've seen what your future is going to look like, and this isn't it for you. Okay, you have too much coming in. Clear it out. Let it go. Listen to the beginning of the show if you didn't already when I was talking about manifesting or law of attraction, okay, for the new year. And I want to say be a little faster on your feet next time. You seem to have done this like 3 times in a row, okay, and just stop. Just stop. You know what's below you. And it looks as though, I'm just supposed to tell you too, something going on with your work. It seems like your money is really getting right. And when your money really is getting right, sometimes you could also, you're going to need to be a little careful there too. Okay, so I really want you to take on this great attitude of like, my money is right, you know, my life is right, my energy is right, and nobody's coming into my yard to poop in it. Okay? Unless you come with a shovel of your own. And so, not happening, okay? I want you to have a little bit higher standards with that. But yeah, he'll definitely give you lip service. Okay, so I have another one from a 239. Hey Ivy, hi. I was wondering if you could tell me anything about a spirit that may be in my house. Okay. I almost want to go to the middle of the house, and I want to go down low. And so I know I'm going down into the land, and I have two different energies coming in. I have a male who feels like I'm sort of connected. I almost feel like I'm connected more to the family, kind of connected to the, to the house itself at this point, but I'm almost getting more of an impression that it's because you're in it. And then I feel like I almost want to say an elemental. I'm seeing like a creature that feels like it goes down and over to the left and then back out. I'm not surprised that you have activity. I'm not surprised that you would have mischievous activity or weird noises. I even feel like up through the walls and up into the ceiling. And if you haven't noticed that, I'm sorry. It's just like it comes and it goes. And it feels almost like there's a neighbor who would be having a similar situation going on. There's a little bit of a pattern with this thing. I don't think that it would hurt you to do some gridding on your house and be like, this is my house, this is the grid, nothing can come in here that I haven't, invited in, and you may just want to keep it that way. As far as the male is concerned, I do feel like he's family. I get more of a paternal sense with him, watching over you, taking care, and I get a grandfather feel from this guy. I think that at some point there were even like pictures or things out there of his, and yeah. It just feels like I'm keeping an eye on decisions that you're making primarily. I feel like you're making some financial decisions that are a little tricky lately, and I want to say be real careful. You're trying to, don't put out more than what's sort of coming in, or be careful with how much might be coming out of the bank account. Okay, so just know he's kind of just giving you hints about what might be coming up, but a ton of love to you. Yeah, a little bit of an active house, a little bit of an active chunk of land there in the neighborhood. Then it feels like space to the back. Okay, so yes, we have another one.
Well, actually, I just wanted to let you know that we have about 3 minutes left on the show here, and Lapis Leaves does give you. She said thank you very much on the Ustream social stream here.
You're welcome.
And just very quick before you end the show, I just wanted to let people know that there is a Meet Your Guides class on Thursday, January 7th at 7 p.m. at the Ivy League Psychic Academy, taught by Miss Ivy Rivera here. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to mention that because it kind of goes along with the manifestation of new things, new energy, and stuff like that. So,
yeah, Meet Your Guides class coming up, you guys. This isn't really one that you could Skype in for so easily, but we could try. We've certainly done it before. If you can get here, please try to get here. Yeah, basically what I do is I lead you through a series of exercises after I explain what our guide system is on the other side, and then you meet each one of your guides individually, including your Akashic Record guide, who is going to hold all of your past life information. So I need to wrap it up. Okay, so here's basically what's going on. If you guys want to book a reading, find me at ivyrivera.psychicmedium.com. If you're looking for more information on upcoming events, shows that I'm doing, lectures, classes here at the Academy, go to ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com and find me on Facebook at Ivy Rivera. The other thing I want to say is we have a couple level 1 psychic mediumship development classes starting that you guys it's open enrollment right now, so go ahead, look that up, get yourself into level 1, start learning how to do psychic mediumship for yourself. Any missed questions I will be answering on the radio show on ParaX Radio this Tuesday night at 7 p.m. right before Down the Rabbit Hole.
And Ivy, I just want to mention real quick that if people happen to forget your website, your shop is located at 4511 Main Street, Amherst, New York, and you now have shop hours, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursday nights, 6 to 10 p.m.
6:30 to 10.
6:30 to 10 p.m.
And then I believe it's Friday, 6 to 10.
Yes.
In addition, and we feature all local artists, authors, jewelry makers, native, we have crystals, feathers, sage, everything that you need. All your spiritual products, and we support local artwork.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, guys. See you next week.